What's up, guys? Barry Gaming here, back with some more Idle Heroes, and today we are following up to our Dark Sealand guide, continuing on with this series and going to the Light. Yes, we're going to the Light faction next, and yeah, it's a pretty interesting faction nowadays when it comes to Sealand because of Russel. It has quickly become one of the more minimalistic ones. Now, I say that with a big asterisk next to it because yes, it is very hard to get Russel copies still. Granted, it is a lot easier than it used to be to get Light and Dark heroes, but you do need energy artifacts. You do need potentially a pay-to-win artifact as well for Russel, but when it comes to everything else you need, it's not all that bad. Would I go for Light Sealand first off if I'm a regular player? Good lord, no. But if you are a whale, might be something to consider. So let's jump into the game. Let's go over the heroes and the setups you will need, and then show some footage of some Light Sealand. So let's just jump right into it. Start off with the star of today's video, and that is going to be an E5 Russel. Yes, you're absolutely positively going to need an E5 Russel. No ifs, ands, or buts. He has quickly become probably the strongest Light hero there is right now. Ada's fallen off. Even like Belrain compared to Ignis, Belrain's fallen off on the PvP meta as well. But Russel is the one that just keeps on going. He's great with AMBs. He's great with a ton of different things. But today, the one thing we're talking about with Russel that he's great at is Sealand. So, yes, clears have been done with a solo E5 Russel, Michelle, like baby Michelle's, and usually like a like an Ada or Belrain supporting, not even like 10-star, even 9 stars I've seen do it. But yeah, it all comes down to this Russel here, and it really comes down to this Radiant Arrow active. So Russel can get in the air hopefully either round 1 or 2. So there's 2 different ways you can build him. We'll talk about the different ways, but a lot of his big bolt damage to kill off those little minions is going to come from this big burst damage, 1600% of attack against all enemies. Then he follows it up with light arrow pinging damage, and it just accumulates very, very quickly. He bursts down the little minions, which is very important, so you can just have the main big boss in the backup. And yeah, he is just absolutely crazy good. He has a heal as well. Granted, in like this scenario, the way we're building him, he's not gonna have like a huge heal, but it's gonna be enough to maybe keep him alive 1 extra hit, save an unbending will, layer on the shield, that type thing. So not too bad. As far as gearing goes, typically you're gonna want to run him in a 1-3 setup using the minstrel bow, the weapon for rangers. This is gonna optimize his attack, his crit. He's all out damage is what you need him to do. Personally, I like running him with a holy attack stone. I have seen people successful with a skill damage attack and just a straight up attack skill stone. I have not seen anybody use a crit stone, but I potentially could work. The one thing it really comes down to is the artifact slot. So I have seen people do this with an Echo of Death. I've seen people do it like me with the Demon Bell. That way you guarantee you get in the air round 1, you get extra damage reduction, and round 2 you get to burst down the entire, well, most of the team for most of the way up to Sealand 20. But you can use an Antlers Cane, you can use a Punisher Staff. There's a lot of different options. You could probably even get away with an AMB. Granted, it's probably not optimal unless it's fully upgraded, and at that point you're not really looking at a minimalistic run anyway. But yeah, that's kind of the gear and setup for stones that I typically see and use in Light Sealand. When it comes to enables, you're going to want to run a 2-2-3-2-2 setup. So that is what we have had success with the most. I don't know if you necessarily need Purify. I know there's some debuffs going out, but I've seen people do it with both. I've done it with Purify. I've seen others doing it with Shared Fate. Maybe I'm just taking the hard road with Purify. But the big one here is this lethal fight back, especially from the damage from the active. You're going to be doing 12% more damage from that active. And that active is going to be hitting so hard. It is where all your damage is going to come from. Follow it up with those little pings. But every little bit of damage will help. If you can manage to get your hand on the skin is extremely helpful as it adds attack, holy damage. Those are going to be absolutely amazing. Amazing, because holy damage counts towards your pings with your little light arrows as well. It is an awesome, great setup. But he cannot do it alone. No, he cannot. So some people I've seen have used like a 10-star Ada that's just built to take a couple hits on the front line. I've seen the same with like a 10-star Belrain. It really just needs to be a hero that can take a hit or two and save an Unbending Will layer on his shield. But besides that, there's one big thing that you need, which is part of the reason why it's not necessarily easy to do for newer players, because let alone you need those Russels. And then you also need like a Belrain or an Ada, which 5 copies can take a while to stack up. You're gonna need a bunch of these 5-star Michelles. You're gonna want to make sure she at least has Disciples of the Light so that she does revive to take some extra hits. But the big thing Michelle is here for is her active, so you are going to have to run at least a magic source on every one of these Michelles, because this is a huge part about what lets you make Sealand 20 easy. I say easy, but it makes it possible with very minimalistic attacks, is this right here, the stun. It has a chance to hit 3 random enemies, 35% chance to stun, 2 rounds. The heal doesn't matter, everything else doesn't matter. The stun, just like so many different Sealands, is so important for this run. And this is the RNG we're going to talk about. There's a couple parts RNG we're going to need to discuss, because it comes from both the Michelles, and of course the enemies have some abilities as well that are very disrupting to your game plan. So that is pretty much what you do for the setup. Now, as far as pets go, the monster, for a while there, we were actually leaning towards the dragon, Niederhog, to be the better option to give more holy damage. But Phoenix still has potential, since you do have 1 round of burning. You're not going to go very far into the fight. Usually light Sealand ends around round 4, 5, 6, so you're only going to get 1 Phoenix buff anyway. I would actually kind of lean towards the dragon still being better. You get an additional chance to stun if there are any small minions still alive. I have tried Deer multiple times. Deer really has never done anything amazing for me. It is nice getting that extra attack and armor, but overall I feel like the stats, the crit and crit damage you get from, like, you know, from the dragon just seems a lot better. So that's pretty much the setup you're gonna need. Let's jump into some footage here, and then we will talk about the RNG that needs to happen. So first off, fair warning, the footage that I could only find was way overkill. I don't have actual footage of the very minimalistic setup, but I will show you some of this here just so you can see what the combat looks like. There's 2 things you need for RNG. In this case, of course, there's only 1 Michelle, but of course you do need to high roll a stun, prevent a lot of damage coming in, especially when you don't have all these E5 heroes to block with shields. And the other big thing is you need to dodge the energy drain that the enemies have. So certain, I think it's the mages in the back line, they have an energy drain, which does make it very difficult if you are not using an energy artifact on Russell round 1 to sometimes get in the air, and you have to get in the air with the active immediately. No ifs, ands, or buts. If you don't go in the air round 2, you lose. Simple as that. But the big thing here is, if you do use an energy artifact, you don't have to worry about that part of the RNG. Then you only have to worry about the Michelle RNG. And the Michelles, if you have 3 to 4 of them, you really need to stun every single target on the other side. I have seen it done where if you stun 3 out of the 4 little minions, you can get it done. But you have to high roll and get every single one of them stunned. If you don't, you're just going to end up taking way too many hits. It's not going to do much for you, and you're going to run into a ton of issues. So that about wraps it up. Let me know what you guys think. Have you done it with even more minimal setup? Have you done it with a different setup? Let me know in the comments. Drop a like on the video. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. We will continue the series, and then I believe at the end, we're actually going to do some Sealand tier lists for free-to-play players, low to mid spenders, and whales, and which ones you should really be going for. it makes a big difference. Especially, I'm going to tell you right now, the pay to win tier list for what ones to go for and the free to play ones are going to be completely different. Like, they're not even going to look the same in my opinions. Hopefully you guys enjoy this one. Definitely look forward to 4 more on their way, and I'll see you guys next time.